What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're gonna start off strong over here with Scary Comp 7 videos that prove we aren't alone. Wait. Watch until the end. I mean, even though we already watch every video till the end, but I am kind of curious as to wonder why he had to point that out. Aren't you? Well, I am. So, with that being said, let's go.
This man
Ooh.
says he works night shifts at a construction site in the middle of nowhere. A place so quiet that even a small sound carries. But lately, he claims there's been something else. A voice. Not quite human. And not like any animal he recognizes. He records the audio. Listen. At first, he assumes it has to be a cat. Strays can slip through empty construction zones, and some of their cries can sound strangely human in the dark. But he says when he goes out to check, there's nothing. No movement, no eyes reflecting light, no footprints, just silence. What makes it more unsettling is the pattern. He claims it happens almost every night, around the same hour, like it's on schedule. The sound starts suddenly. It goes on for long stretches. Then it stops just as abruptly as it began. Some viewers connect it to paranormal stories about wailing entities. Things people say you hear before you ever see anything. And whether you believe that or not, there's something about audio like this that gets under your skin. Because the worst part isn't spotting a figure. It's hearing something nearby and realizing you can't find where it's coming from. Before you decide what you think it is, listen again. Whatever made that sound that night is still unknown. Dated June 2018.
Okay. I mean, that kind of started really quick. But are we going to skip the fact that this person who's working recording uh he does he think that this is paranormal? Because he grabbed a half-beaten stick to, I guess, protect himself? Or maybe he grabbed the stick to shoot off whatever he already knows what it is. So this is giving me that feel that somebody, because this actually happens a lot. I've been doing this for a very long time. And even before I started recording, I've noticed, that there are people that'll grab a clip from the net and then, do some editing and make it their own. But they just, kind of grab it. They're just giving me that feel because there's actually nothing to say that there's anything paranormal going on here. But putting ourselves in this person's shoes, yeah, it's probably scary to hear something like that. But the first time we heard it, it is actually different than the second time we heard it. Because when Scary Comp said it was like a waiting person, no, I'm sorry. When he said that it was like a cat, I was like, nah, that doesn't sound like a cat. But then the second clip actually showed a little bit more of that feline wailing noise that it does, especially when it goes like. I try. But that's what it sounds like. Now it's starting to sound more feline. So I'm from New York. I lived in a apartment building where right next to us is another apartment building. So we got these alleyways, right? And then within those alleyways, we have these stray cats, right? And then they particularly choose a time when we're all sleeping to go to work next day to do their deed, and they are wailing. So just so I'm just multiplying that by a bigger cat, and we'll most likely get a similar sound. So the person actually, probably thinks it's an animal more so than paranormal.
A fixed CCTV camera overlooks a quiet public park in broad daylight. At first, nothing seems unusual. Then one of the swings begins moving back and forth on its own. Not a gentle sway, a consistent motion. What stands out is that the other swings remain still, and there doesn't appear to be anything obvious pushing it. No one nearby. No visible contact.
All right, so we're gonna pause it right quick because this is two different camera angles. We were seeing what I'm going to assume is a CCTV, right? Like security camera. And on the security camera, you see that there's a figure standing right by that tree. Did you guys catch that? And over here, this guy is actually by himself. I found it kind of weird that, the shadow figure that was standing by the tree was not moving at all. I mean, let's continue.
会社用と個人用のスマホ2台持ってたんで、スマホっていうような高い遊具もあったんで、そこに1台スマホを置いて撮りました。自分が動かしてるんじゃないっていう証拠になるかな。帰宅中に通りかかったんですけど、心霊現象だと思って。そうですね、ツイッターとか上げようと思いましたね。であの木の横に人影ががっつり映ってるじゃないですか。こんな映ることありますっていう。はい。いや、もちろんその場ではその人がいるのは気づかなかったですし、気配すら感じなかったですよね。自分が持って撮ってるスマホの方には映ってないですよね。そうですね。ツイッターはそうですね。20回ぐらいしか再生されてないんで、普通に消しました。誰も信じてくれないんですよね。
As the swing keeps moving, a man dressed in dark clothing appears in the frame. He doesn't walk up to the swing. He doesn't touch anything. He simply stands there, watching, completely motionless. A short time later, another man enters the park and notices the swing as well. He looks confused. Then, he pulls out his phone and starts recording the scene. And this is where the clip gets uncomfortable. When the smartphone footage is shown, the swing is still moving in the same way. But the dark figure seen on the CCTV isn't there at all. Just empty space. According to the timestamps, both recordings were happening at the same time. So the question becomes simple. How does one camera capture a person standing there, while another camera filming the same moment captures nothing? Eventually, the swing slows and comes to a stop. Both men leave the area. The figure never appears again, and to a lot of people who've seen this, it doesn't feel like a normal glitch. It feels like something was there that not everyone could see. A man named
Okay. Aside from when they did the interview portion of this video, we didn't understand what he was saying, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter because the fact is, one of the things that I look for when it is CCTV or a security camera being used in paranormal, caught on tape videos, is that we would be able to see the actual timestamp on frame. The fact that this video didn't have it tells me either they edited the video or it wasn't a CCTV video, right? It kind of takes away from what we were watching, unfortunately, because this could be real. I don't like the fact that the shadow figure wasn't moving, but you know, the other person coming into frame while he's recording so they could coincide the video. It who's not to say he was part of it and this is all just orchestrated. All due because of the timestamp. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Am I wrong on this one? Do you think this is real? I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. We've seen a lot of videos, especially from this part of town, that they are very big on paranormal content videos, and they're very creative. As far as scenario is concerned, because we've seen a lot of videos that there are people trying to pull a wool over our eyes, but like they try, I guess, too much, and it's just too good to be true. But yeah, man, that's my thought. What's yours? Put it in the comment section.
Nate says he spent months trying to understand what's happening inside his house. And according to him, it didn't start with one big event. It built up slowly. First came the voices, faint, unclear, easy to blame on the house settling or his imagination. Then the scratches appeared, thin marks on his skin when he woke up, with no explanation for how they got there. After that, the kitchen became the center of the disturbances. Objects shifting, small items falling for no obvious reason. The kind of paranormal activity that never lets the house feel truly quiet for long. But one morning, Nate says everything felt wrong. Too still, too silent. Until this happens.
So I'm in the middle of working out, and I hear shuffling and banging coming from the kitchen or the basement. I'm not sure which one. It was loud, though. Super loud. I almost dropped the weights. It was so startling. Hello? I was just in there working out. Nobody in the kitchen. Back door is locked. Nobody here, of course. What the f? Okay. I don't understand that. What the f***ing heavens?
Nate speaks out loud and says he hears something respond. He asks, "You hear me?" A moment later, Nate says, "I don't understand." And then a whisper answers back, "It's there." But whatever it says isn't completely clear, which makes it worse, because it still sounds like it's trying to reply.
Hello?
Some viewers think the voice sounds like a child, and they point out that in a lot of ghost stories, child spirits are linked to noisy activity, objects moving, things being knocked over, anything to get attention. But other people aren't convinced it's harmless, because scratches, whispers, and intelligent responses don't always point to something innocent. It could be a child, it could be someone else in the house, or it could be something pretending. I'll let you decide. This clip dates back.
So I hope this gentleman is not trying to fake a video, because all of that happened, that all could have been done, and the whispering that could have been, edited in very easily. Man, dude, I mean, I want to believe it. It's just hard to do so when your house is all cluttered, because who's not to say, if you're working out, I'm assume, especially with the very first video of him recording himself, I'm going to assume that, he's a kind of a big guy and there's a bunch of stuff all over the place, right? Who's not to say he's accidentally bumping into things. Not saying that he did it, but I'm just saying, if a house is so cluttered like that, I mean, I won't be able to live in a place like this. Jesus Christ. That would be so freaking, I'll get rid of all my stuff and start over. But yeah, with the clutterness and then, moving around, um, did he try to grab the scissors off the floor using his phone? I mean, looking through his phone to grab it. I think that's what happened. I'm sorry. Let's retract. Okay. But yeah, all of that stuff could have been done himself. All of this could have been orchestrated. So I hope he is, genuinely trying to show us the disturbances and not trying to get clout. It didn't seem like he was working out either. He had the chair right in front of the television.
To August 2007. It was uploaded to a YouTube channel belonging to a man named Guy Terry, whose last upload was more than a decade ago. In the video, 3 friends are standing together in a room. They're holding heart-shaped balloons, and they appear to be singing what sounds like "Happy Birthday" in German. They're smiling, laughing, completely focused on whoever they're celebrating. But that mood changes quickly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück. Zum Geburtstag alles Gute. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück.
At one point, something appears in the mirror behind them. A pale white shape, standing out clearly against the darker background of the room. It's visible for only a moment, and then the mirror suddenly falls to the ground. No warning, no visible contact, just the crash of glass hitting the floor. It's the timing that people focus on. The figure appears. Seconds later, the mirror drops. Some viewers believe the reflection looks almost reactive, as if whatever appeared didn't want to be seen on camera. Others aren't convinced. They suggest someone could have been positioned carefully out of frame, or that the mirror was intentionally loosened ahead of time. A staged moment designed for maximum impact. There's no clear proof either way, but whether this was a hoax or a genuine piece of strange paranormal footage. The sequence happens fast. It's unexpected. And once you notice the reflection, it's hard to unsee it. Urban exploration.
I don't know what to say, man. A lot of times when I see these videos, I try and I think about why they're recording in the first place. That's like number one, right? So yeah, I could definitely see this that they're recording themselves singing "Happy Birthday," which, by the way, I think I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm tired of all of this negativity going on around the world, racism and everything else. Man, to me, it's disgusting. Like we are all one, we are all here. Like if we was to just like drop all this BS and and just like freaking just be, man, just do you. Just do you. Who gives a crap what another person's doing? It's not affecting you, right? Like this is my mentality. I could be biased because I'm Latino, but this is one of the reasons why I created Strangers Minds was during the time of the COVID pandemic, and it was because I was everybody was on social media, and that is how the wildfire of racism and all of this phobias and all of this stuff started popping off. And I created Strangers Minds because we are all strangers to one another, but we are all the same, bro. Like look at this, man. I mean, I don't know if they're speaking German. I don't know what language is that, but the melody is the same as to us out here when we sing happy birthday to a kid or to an adult. But if you sing happy birthday to an adult, it kind of feels a little weird, right? But let me digress. I kind of like the video, you guys. I don't think this family was trying to create a viral video. I think they were trying to record it for the father. I mean, aside from the paranormal, that's what I'm getting. Um and the fact that, something just popped off in the background. Could it be orchestrated? Of course. Although that white figure that came out, I do kind of like how it isn't. You can't tell if it was a person. You can't tell if it was, an animal or an alien, or you can't tell because when it came, you know, when it walked by, it was a shape. It was a shape. You can't tell. And it was almost transparent and foggy at that. I kind of like the video, you guys. I kind of like the video. And, I'm sorry, but it's not that I'm saying all of this to go against the content creators. It might seem like this, but no, aside from the amazing details, information, and story that these content creators put together for us, but I am looking at the video completely separate, and I'm taking in my own conclusions. That is how I come up with all of this stuff. Off the top, the only editing is if there's a commercial. That's about it. If there's no commercials, this whole entire thing would be through and through. This is how my brain works. And I kind of like the video, you guys. How about you?
Can be thrilling. Walking into abandoned buildings, empty mansions, places that have been left to rot. But locations like this come with real risks, not just collapsing floors or broken glass. Sometimes it's the feeling that you're not alone. An urban explorer known as Canic Massive Explorers Online heads out to investigate an old abandoned mansion. Before he even steps inside, he records a quick shot of the outside, just a casual clip. Nothing unusual at the time. But later, while reviewing the footage, he notices something he didn't see in the moment. Something in one of the upstairs windows. In a second-floor window, a figure appears to move across the glass. It's pale, fast, and for a split second, it looks like it glides rather than walks. The strange part is that the person filming doesn't react at all, which could mean he never saw it, or it happened before he got close enough to notice. It could be a person inside the mansion. It could be a reflection, or it could be something else entirely. Either way, it's the kind of creepy footage that makes people think twice about exploring abandoned places alone.
Not
You
this guy.
decide what it was. Dennis.
Dude, I like that video. I like that video. You know, one of the best things for me when I'm recording these videos is interacting with everyone watching. That to me, I'm a very social person to an extent. But I like socializing, and especially with people that are watching my videos. Um, so I had a person comment on one of my videos, and they're planning to start up a their own um, uh, urban exploration page. So they were asking me for some advice. So this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because I actually told the guys the first things first, do your research, scout the area first before entering the building or structure. Scout. Very important to scout because the fact of the matter is, just because a place looks abandoned, it does not mean that it is not inhabited by people. The abandoned structures is where people that can't afford to live, paying rent or have a job or stuff like this is where they go to get shelter. Places like this. And unfortunately, a lot of times we're to another comment that I read was that not all people that go to these places are bad. You are absolutely right, but are we going to take that chance? Because I believe that at least 70 to 80%, this is just off the top of everything I've experienced in my life. 70 to 80% of people that do find shelter in these kind of places might not be as good as we would want them to be, right? Because unfortunately, there's people with habits, there are people with bad intentions, and the I say this a lot, like I am more afraid of the living than the dead. So this is a perfect example. Scouting your area, taking a video of the outside. I do this exactly the same way. Taking video of the outside and taking pictures, chilling a little bit. I always go with people. So, we're conversating. We're just walking around everywhere just to scout. And then later on, or maybe even the next day or the next weekend, is when we venture inside if we're able to go inside without breaking anything. We do not break doors, we do not break windows, we do not break anything. Actually, I hate seeing videos where there are people destroying places. I hate it. But if there's a doorway that's open, wide open, we're going to venture in. We're going to experience whatever we're going to experience and record. So this is the perfect example. Now, for this video, I actually liked it cuz it was quick. It was quick. And a lot of times when we go out into the field to explore certain places, we don't see or witness anything at the time. We see and witness everything during diagnosing all of the evidence that I'm sorry, not evidence, diagnosing everything, analyzing all the footage, all the pictures, all the audio. So, yeah, man, I really like this video.
Is standing beside a closed door inside a quiet medical facility. His colleague Deborah is nearby. They're mid-conversation when a sudden loud bang hits from the other side of the door. It's loud enough that Dennis immediately lifts the camera.
Coisa que acontece no meu plantão. E vai tirar foto minha aqui, viu?
Não, tem. Oi. Olha aí, olha aí. Não, sabe, deixa eu ver se tem alguém aqui dentro. Tá vendo? Não tem ninguém aqui dentro. Rapaz, minha mesa aqui.
The sound echoes down the corridor, sharp, metallic, like something heavy striking porcelain. Dennis and Deborah exchange a look. Then they slowly open the door together, expecting to find someone inside. But the room is empty. Just a toilet and a sink. Nothing moving. Nothing out of place. Dennis pans the camera to show the corners. No other exits. Nowhere obvious for anyone to hide. The sound clearly came from inside that room, but whatever caused it isn't visible anymore. And the room looks completely normal, even though the atmosphere doesn't. The next day, Dennis returns to the same facility. He still seems unsettled, and this time, he starts recording before anything happens.
Coisas que acontecem no meu
plantão, parte 2.
Tem ninguém aqui dentro, ninguém. Vou fechar aqui, deixar escoradinho aqui, ó. Ó. Tenha calma, você fecha já. Ó. Ó, sozinho. Ó, não tem ninguém aqui, ó. Pois. É incrível. Aí, ó. Maçaneta mexendo. Fechei, olha. Fecha a porta, vai. Feche. Feche. Tá vendo? Tem ninguém perto da porta, ninguém. Ó. Ó a maçaneta. Olha. Ai, ai.
He opens the same door again and films the room carefully. The toilet, the sink, the corners, everything to show nothing is hiding and nothing is disturbed. Then he steps back into the hallway and gently pushes the door closed. He leaves it slightly ajar on purpose, and he waits in silence. After a few seconds, the door begins to move on its own, slowly, like something is pulling it from the inside. It shuts completely, and you can hear it click into place. Dennis reacts immediately, backing away in disbelief. Afterward, he goes back in to check the room again, looking for any obvious cause. And after capturing that, Dennis says he no longer thinks it was just random noise, because whatever it was seemed to wait for him to come back. This family decides to document a...
Oops. So, good morning. Yeah, that's on me, you guys. That's on me. So, what I actually like that video, you guys. You don't really see anything paranormal besides the door opening and closing. But now here's the thing. That doorknob, right? At first, this is the old type of, old modern doorknobs that the latch is consistent with the handle. So it was interesting because, well, first off, I didn't notice that there was any open windows in there or if there's a window in there at all. It was one of those freaking confinement solitary bathrooms, right? You got a toilet, you got a sink, that's all you need. And when the door was about to, because the door was placed, right? And then when it goes to pass the frame, the latch goes in, which shakes the doorknob. So with that alone, there's a little bit of force to push the door more. Then when it goes in, the first video, when it goes in, the latch, goes into the door, the handle lifts up. The second video, it seemed like there was something holding down the latch. Unless it malfunctioned or if something happened, but the doorknob, the door handle stayed in the downward position. So that is interesting. That is interesting. All of this could be orchestrated with somebody standing behind the door. Even though when the guy opened the door all the way, I kind of wanted him to open the door and kind of record the door backing away just so we could see that space and area, right? That would have made this video awesome.
Late night Ouija board session inside their home. At first, everything seems normal, but within moments, the mood shifts. They later say they may have contacted something they didn't fully understand, and whatever happens next is captured entirely on camera.
Well, you have to start moving before.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's fine. I know, my arm's aching. Come on,
Yeah.
we'll close it.
Dad, please.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
Pick it up.
Hold on, we've got it.
But you need to close it properly. Please,
Look, I
Dad.
want to show you something on.
Dad, Kelly, no!
Without warning, the planchette suddenly lifts and appears to jump off the board. No one around the table seems to be touching it when it moves. The motion even looks slightly upward, as if it's pulled rather than pushed. The father immediately picks it up to show the camera. There are no strings, no visible attachments. Then, just seconds later, the lights inside the room abruptly shut off. The recording cuts out. It's unclear what caused it, but involving a child in what many consider a dangerous, paranormal ritual raises serious questions.
Please.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
Pick it up.
The footage ends before they properly close the Ouija session. So there's no way to know whether they followed the traditional rules. For those who believe in paranormal activity, that detail matters. Because if something did respond during this session, the bigger question is whether it ever really left.
Dad, Kelly, no! Kelly, oh my God.
All right, you guys. I mean, I do like the fact that the father was trying to show us that there's nothing on the planchette, which tells me that what happened was legit. All right. So, but if it was planned, he pulled it off nice, right? Okay. I will always not, do not use the Ouija board. The Ouija board is not a game. Everything depends on your intent. Because the Ouija board is a board game, ages 8 and up. I've thrown this question out there and asked, how are you supposed to use this board as a game? Forget the paranormal aspects, forget the fact that you're trying to communicate with the deceased. How does this game work as a game? Right? But the fact that, just looking at their tattoos and everything, that they're into the paranormal one way or another. So their intent on using the Ouija board was to communicate. Now that, man, for you to involve your children, that was careless. Sorry to say, my guy. I know you were one of those fathers that would murk a person if they hurt your children, but technically speaking, in my book, you put your children in harm's way when you decided to use a Ouija board with them. Now, there are parents out there that they want to, interact with their children as much as they can because they would rather have their kids do things with them than carelessly doing it with somebody else. I 100% agree with that also, but the Ouija board is not on that list because I, for one, even as a paranormal investigator, will not use a Ouija board because it is, my friends, due to your intent, dangerous. With that being said, you guys, I actually like this video from Scary Comp. If you guys are enjoying yourselves, please do what you do when you like a channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.